Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another legacy video. Playing Doomsday, and here with a bit of a blast from the past for those that have been watching my videos for a long time. This is an Esper list. So what's new? Well, the core of the deck is the same. In the slot of the two main deck Pyroblasts I've been running, I have two silence effects. Have switched. I would say Volcanic Island for Tundra, though I still have Volcanic Island. But so Tundra takes the slot of Volcanic, Scrubland takes the slot of Badlands, and Volcanic then takes the slot of Tropical Island, because I do have a red splash in the sideboard for two red blasts. Now, what is the advantage of playing Esper? Well, I honestly am not entirely sure there is much advantage right now, but I want to try it. And A, because it's a lot of fun, I really enjoy having access to these cards here. And B, just because I never played Esper with Daze in it, so I want to give it a little bit of a run. My worry, and I hope that I am not correct, but my worry is that by switching to Esper, basically we improve the matchups that we are already favored in, and we lose some percentages in the matchups where we're not favored. And the latter category, I predominantly mean Delver. I have low expectations as to how this will fare against Delver, and I'm also not entirely sure how I'm going to end up playing versus Delver in terms of sideboarding, but we'll see. So just a few quick hits here. We have Monster Mentor. This is a big draw for me for going to Esper, because it is by far the alternative win condition that I have enjoyed the most. Basically, having access to Mentor gives you an entirely different and very powerful access to fight on versus a number of decks. I will enjoy just bringing in one Mentor sometimes, not signing out any Doomsdays, or maybe signing out one Doomsday, and just having it as a something else they have to contend with. But all right, enough of this. I will keep. I'm on the draw, and the plan here is for this Flooded Strand to fetch a basic island, I think, and then to brainstorm either end of turn or turn 2. Okay, so let's see here. We're up against something non-blue, most likely. What do they reveal off of their Once Upon a Time? Plague Engineer. Okay, so not what I was expecting. Plague Engineer. So it's not elves, I would assume. Let's just make Flooded Strand go. Plague Engineer. So it could be like Agrolome, maybe? Would that make sense? No. Maverick with a Dark Splash. Thalia. Okay, well, we're gonna fight over Thalia here. And I think I will actually brainstorm, even though it does make the brainstorm a little bit worse. But we're going to be putting back a land anyways. Okay. I don't think we will be needing the Silence versus the Thalia deck. So I don't mind doing this. And then dazing here. Having double Dark Ritual and Predict can sort of come in, can become relevant on a Doomsday turn. So we're gonna shuffle away the Silence. Okay, so there's a Wasteland. Let's hope they don't have like a Knight of the Reliquary. But I mean, if they do, then so be it. Or another Thalia, maybe? Knight. You know what? I am actually going to. I'm going to daze this. We have the spare Delta in order to in order to get black man. I'm just trying to work out if I ought to be brainstorming here. Uh, nah, tell you what, let's not, right? Or actually no, I changed my mind. I want to brainstorm. Woo, pay dirt. Okay, and we get the same turn win because of the we have two dark rituals. Now, I'll show you how. Let's get rid of the um, I guess the and go like this. It won't matter unless they have something. So we know one card in their hand is a Plague Engineer. I don't envision them playing main deck Mindbreak Trap or Surgical, so we should have it sewn up here. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. So because we also drew the Petal, we can do this, and because we have a second Dark Ritual, we'll have enough mana to cast Predict, even though we only have like one blue source. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a blank on top. Let's make it a brainstorm. Then we will draw Lion's Eye Diamond, Thassa's. Well, we won't draw Thassa's Oracle, but we need to put Thassa's Oracle in the pile. And I guess 2 Cyclers. Let's see if that works. So Predict names Brainstorm, draws as Edge of Autumn and Street Wraith. And then we Street Wraith cycle that into LED, cycle Edge, cracking LED, and drawing Thassa. So let's put Thassa on the bottom, and then LED, Edge, and Street Wraith, and then Brainstorm on top. And the Brainstorm. And then cycle the Street Wraith. Something to be aware of when doing stuff like this, and where it comes in handy to have 2 Street Wraith, is if you, for some reason, are doing this with a land that you then lose, either to a wasteland or by dazing, then Edge of Autumn is not going to work. You need a land in play. I mean, it's kind of just common sense, but something, one of those annoying missteps you can make. All right, so we get there. So this is the sort of matchup where I am, happy to be on the white splash rather than red or green. Okay, they reveal their hand. So I guess this is just Maverick, and they have main deck Plague Engineer. All right, so we want the plows, at least some of them. We want the Terminus. Let's see if we want like one Mentor. And let's, we might want an answer to something like Deafening Silence. Let's start out by ditching the chant effects here, the silences. Don't want those. I don't want Cavern of Souls because I am banking on them not having Chalice of the Void. It didn't seem like aggro loam. It could be aggro loam, but probably isn't, as they were playing Noble Hierarch. So hoping they don't have Chalice for 2, because Chalice for 2 out of decks like that is actually, a lot of the time, it'll end up being sort of what they try to pull. I think I only want one of these Predict Ideas Unbound effects, and the fact that Ideas Unbound is blue, and it's a Wasteland deck makes me think probably we want Predict. So maybe we don't want 4 days against the Noble Hierarch deck. I mean, we really leveraged days in this game 1, but I think we can afford to board them out. They'll be playing around it anyways, which is like half of the fun of days, right? So if we board out a Thoughtseize as well, and then bring in, like, say, a Disenchant, and I kind of want to Fairy. I know that sounds weird, but it answers like a creature. Probably Teferi is wrong. I don't know. But do I want any of these other things instead? It also answers like Deafening Silence. I think I'll try this. We'll see how we do. Also, I want to give a shout out to Doishi off of the Doomsday Discord, my Doomsday brother in arms, who really piqued my interest talking about like reviving the old Esper list. So this one's for you, buddy. All right, I am going to keep this. We are Wasteland susceptible and in need of a dark ritual, but oh, deafening silence. Right. Okay. Well, deafening silence means we are no longer in search of a dark ritual. I brought in the disenchant, right? Uh, yeah, not the serenity. Um, I guess I don't hate taking this terminus since we have brainstorm in hand. We can do some fun stuff with the street wraith. Oh well. Playing around the days. I guess it didn't really matter if they wasteland us. That still plays around days. Okay, so think I need to fetch basic island here, even though we want to be able to have white mana. And ponder. Okay, that's good, because we need lands. Thalia. Okay, collector roof. Right. Um. We can't really afford to play out Strand with the intention of fetching a white land off of. Well, I guess we could if we put back Scrubland underneath Terminus, but I'm not sure that's where we want to be at. We have two brainstorms. Let's go like this. I kind of have like both the Terminus and the Edge of Autumn that I don't really want. Actually, hang on. Maybe I'm supposed to. No, I don't think I'm supposed to brainstorm this turn. We can like it. You kind of want to leverage. Like this is a turn I'm not casting a spell. That kind of feels bad, with the Deafening Silence out. But I think brainstorming now it's a little bit risky. Actually, no. Hang on. We're gonna do it. All right, we're gonna put back. We're gonna wait with the old Terminus trick here. I'm gonna put back Predict and Edge of Autumn, and I'm gonna fetch them away. Even though like Predict, maybe I should have kept Predict because it's instant, so we can cast it on their turn. So I just kind of want to avoid Wasteland here, I think. Okay. The Cradle is a little bit scary. What's this? Natural Order? Night. Okay, well, I don't think this Terminus is going to get a whole lot better. All right. So I guess we fetch here. And I think actually that was maybe a bit of a punt. So what I was going to do is, well, the thing I'm worried about here is the fact that knight can get wasteland. But the way I've set it up, I kind of have to wait now and terminus on their turn regardless. So let's just get a card deeper with the brainstorm. Okay, so let's put back, I guess days is not going to be super useful. And then the, no, yeah, and then the terminus. And so I'm going to play this. And now the question is, do I cycle the Street Wraith on their upkeep? Then they can choose to Knight of the Reliquary here. But if they do and get a Wasteland, that takes them off their Savannah. And that basically leaves them with no mana. So I think I like that. Okay, so let's cycle Street Wraith and reveal the terminus. I guess no, I was wrong. They can just sack the dude here, the Dried Arbor. It's no big deal. I think we have enough to. We have enough lands here. We have the Delta. We have cantrips. We just need to find one more black producing land. So hopefully they don't have like a powerful play here. They have one card in hand. Well, it's something they can cast. It's Thalia. Okay. So if you're them, do you waste? What do you waste here? I guess you waste the white source. Yeah. All right. We have to now consider that we only have one more white source. It would be kind of nice to get a plow. But let's see here. I think we have to brainstorm here, get rid of this daze, this Thoughtseize. And man, I don't think we're gonna make this. At least we need to find a plow quickly. Or maybe not. Yeah, the thing is we have to take another turn out playing this pedal, sadly. Unless we draw a black source. Okay, we draw a black source. So let's see if we just go for it here. Where does that leave us? We drop to 4. They beat us down to 2. They beat us down to 2. We draw for the turn. We draw Edge of Autumn. We play Tundra. We have Terminus on top. I think that still works. All right, so let's see here. We won't be able to cast the Cycle Street Wraith. We need Thassa's Oracle, obviously. Let's get predicts. So that's worst case scenario for us, is that they wasteland us. If they wasteland us and we draw predict, we play Tundra, we pay, then we can't cast predict, so predict needs to be Edge of Autumn. Kind of what I want to click on this terminus last, because once I click on it, they'll see it highlighted. Boom, boom, boom. I guess maybe Teferi is kind of a nice insurance policy, though we could, again, we could get wasted off of it. So let's say we draw Edge, we play Tundra, maybe we play the Pedal, we pass the turn, then we cycle Edge on their turn and draw Terminus. We cast Terminus, we untap with we untap 3 cards in the deck, we draw to fairy, and then we bounce the Deafening Silence, drawing like another land. And then we can cantrip into the Oracle. This is a little bit of a, you know, motley crew of a pile, but let's try it. I think I'm happy with this. So Oracle land to fairy, Terminus edge. Go. So hopefully they don't have choke. If they have choke, we will just... What's this? Script Ranger. Okay. Script Ranger doesn't change the clock here. It means we will... And they had the Wasteland. Okay, where they drew it. Okay, so happy I didn't do the predict thing. And was this... It returns forest. It doesn't return a creature. Okay. Let's go like this. I'm going to wait with the Terminus, obviously, just to see if they drew a creature, if we can get them to sort of make a little bit of a misplay and play the creature out before combat. Okay, we can't. Yep, I do wish to reveal. We won't have enough mana to do Teferi and Cantrip next turn into Oracle. But I think I'm still happy with this. Let's see if they have another flash creature. They didn't. So what happens here? Do I even minus the Teferi here? I don't think it matters. I think we just plus it. We can always minus it next turn. Of course, this sucks if they then decay Teferi now, because we can't. Oh yeah, never mind. It doesn't matter because Thassa is not a creature. Is it? Sorry. Thassa is a creature, so it gets under Deafening Silence. And we beat Choke here too, which is... Oh, no. I guess we don't beat this, right? Exile target non-land... Hang on, what? How? Exile up to 2 cards from a single graveyard. You gain 2 life if at least 1 creature. Okay, so that doesn't kill us. Exile target non-land permanent with current mana cost 1 that doesn't do anything, and the last one they can't. That one deals damage, the ultimate. So they just get to exile 2 cards from a graveyard. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. So I guess we get to do this any way we want, but let's bounce this. We could also just have cast Thassa. Oh, sorry, cast a Preordain and then cast Thassa because Thassa is a creature, and so Deafening Silence lets us cast creatures, even though we've already cast a spell. All right, so we got off to a sort of a gentle beginning with Maverick. Oh, sorry, 2-0. And what date is it? 26th of August. All right, cool. Let's get into round number 2. And we have won the die roll. Let's just be on the play. Yeah, we can keep this. And I think the play here is to go C preordain. And the reason not to fetch basic island is we are like we could go for a 3 turn like turn 3 Doomsday off of just 3 black producing lands. And also we have the edge to cycle through a wasteland if it happens. I think we bottom one of these and we have fetch lands, so I think I value the ponder more. All right, polluted delta, what you got? Okay, hope I'm not getting one of these fetch lands stifled. Okay, so I think I was thinking if I should be pondering or brainstorming here, but I think drawing that land means we want to brainstorm. We have like just one too many cards we don't want in our hand. That's good. Uh, having LED is kind of good here, but actually, maybe that is just what we want. Maybe we... Alright, tell you what, we're going to put back Delta and C, and then I'm going to fetch here, and if we get stifled, I am going to then draw the C. Okay, we don't get stifled. And I think I'm actually going to thought seize. Yeah, do I though? So I actually think I think we are like we shouldn't be respecting Vale in game one that much. Like, but having said that, maybe Ponder is actually better. If we were to ponder into a dark ritual, it would be a lot better. This is good too. This is good too. Don't think we want the chant. I think we want to draw. I should have drawn the force. I was just gonna say we didn't want to be sitting on it like a naked force, but if they discard us, I guess it's better that way. Okay, so underground sea, thinking it's probably like Storm, Tez, or something. Um, yep. Uh-oh. Okay, so they were 1 turn faster. It's and okay. Oh, hang on. Never mind. Ha! I'm stupid. Had had it all along, guys. What are you even worried about? All right. So now we'll draw the orange chant and and we don't know the next card. I'll be fairly tilted if they actually draw a discard spell right now. They don't. Okay, come on, land. Well, not that land. Okay, I'm gonna play out the land. Could have kept it. So I guess we thought easier. Mm. Aren't you supposed to brainstorm there? I'm not sure. I hate second guessing people, but it's just like a question. Okay. Huh. I yell out okay, but so here's the thing. If we don't discard them here and take the tendrils and just go for the Doomsday, we don't have a same turn win. So I think I actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to discard them, and I'm going to take tendrils, I think. It's a little bit scary with leaving them with a Cabal Ritual, because if they draw Past in Flames, or even an Infernal Tutor. So Infernal Tutor would give them, Cabal Ritual gives them 6 mana, Infernal Tutor, they're down to 4, so they can't get Past in Flames. But, exactly, Past in Flames beats us if we leave them with the Cabal Ritual, whereas if we leave them with Tendrils, it doesn't. So I'm going to take one of these cards and then I'm going to chant them in their upkeep, just in case they were to draw a ritual. Sorry, a discard spell. So I think I'm going to... Let's actually grab the Cabal Ritual. And let's chant them here. Get scrub land. Okay, that was a very, very uninteresting draw we got. So if they have drawn like we are definitely running the risk of just toasting it here to their tendrils. We'll be at 6, so if they have like the ability to put 2 spells on the stack before tendrils, then it's kind of a feel bad for us. But and actually maybe I should have waited one more turn because the thing is, if I silenced them and then on my next draw step had drawn like a any blue draw card other than like a 1 mana draw card, then we would have just won on the spot. But it is what it is. Let's grab Ideas Unbound. Let's grab Edge of Autumn, and then Thassa, Petal. I don't think it will matter. They'll either kill us on their next turn, or we'll get the turn and win. So we have to hope that they just draw like lands and the discard spell. All right. I would say it's probably like 50-50, or maybe even lower, like 40-60 that I win this. I think they have a fairly high chance of beating us here. Yep. So one more spell. There we go. GG's. All right. Let's see. We're gonna bring in Fluster and Pierce. We're gonna bring in Surgical. We're gonna think about bringing in Tormod's Crypt. We are going to board out the Cavern of Souls and the Volcanic Island, and we're gonna board out Predict. And like I guess maybe we only want like Surgical and not both Graveyard hate pieces. So that was fairly disappointing. After that, whoops, I had a Force on top Edge of Autumn moment, but yeah, it happens. All right, gonna keep this. It's a little bit sort of reactionary, but has a force and a daze and some cantrips and mana, so I don't really think we can complain. All right. They also keep 7. Let's cast a preordain here. Do I want a second daze? Yeah, I think it's fine. I actually don't mind drawing both of these. And let's leave the second daze on top, so that if they were to discard us and for some reason we didn't respond, they would only see the 1 daze and not know about the second one. Okay, interesting. They must have a very gassy hand. Oh man, I should have dazed that pedal, huh? All right, let's ponder here. All right, I can dig it. So let's actually let us go like, I think we draw the silence. It kind of sucks having to shuffle to play it, but I just don't want to die. I don't think I will. I have a lot of like, I have a force and 2 dazes. Yeah, how about no? All right. So if nothing else happens, I'm not going to draw the second Doomsday. I do worry that they have like Flusterstorm, which they could very certainly have access to. So I think I pass here. We could daze and force to pay for 2 copies of Flusterstorm, but it leaves us with nothing. Okay, 8 cards in hand. What's it gonna be, Bubba? I was gonna say maybe I brainstorm in response to this, but I'm not sure. Hang on, I'm gonna brainstorm here, see if I can get lucky and hit a Dark Ritual. No Dark Ritual, but we do get Petal. So if we just put back Silence and Force, I guess actually then it's better to put back Force and Force. And I'm gonna daze that. I'm gonna pay for it. Paying for it means that I'm gonna pay mana for it, means that I can cast Doomsday and Ideas Unbound next turn and win. So unless they actually play something we have to worry about, which yeah, I wasn't expecting. We draw land, which is unexciting. So let's cast Doomsday. We get to play around Surgical and stuff, I think. So we let me just see here. So we play Petal, cast Ideas Unbound. We can draw Thassa, Petal, Petal, and then just put 2 Cyclers in there. That plays around Surgical Extraction. Yep. So let's just, I mean, they're tapped out, so there's no reason for us to not just put Thassa as one of the top cards so that we can draw it as well if something were to go wrong here. So let's say a Mind Break Trap. This ought to do it. The day I see an Ant player playing Mind Break Trap out of the sideboard, the world will truly have come unstuck. All right. So does anything change here? Probably not. All right. Do we keep this? I think we keep this. We lose to their to turn one, but if we don't get turn one, I think it's a decent enough hand. Just give it a bit of pause here, make them think we have 0 mana interaction. They bottom both cards. Ooh, I like that. Drawing that land is also good. Let's Thoughtseize here. Okay. Okay, so they have a lot of mana. So Pierce is quickly going to run out of gas. You could make an argument for taking their Cabal Ritual, but we can pierce the Cabal Ritual. I think we take the Ponder here, leave them sort of with nothing, and then hope that there's Doomsday in like the top 4 cards of our deck. Okay. There was not. I guess we dump a Dark Ritual and a land. And then we ponder here. We could have gotten Tundra to be able to have active, what do you call it? Silence if we were to draw it. I guess we shuffle these. Yeah. Okay, we pass. It's not suddenly not the best here, but we'll see. Maybe I should have played out my LED in order to play around Flusterstorm a bit better. You know, be able to pay for copies, that kind of thing. Not thrilled about them drawing this Brainstorm. And us with only a meager Spell Pierce to so I think we let them do this. I think I value having the pedal. The only upshot of taking of piercing here is leaving them thinking that they might need to postpone a turn. Like if they have like Ritual Tutor here, I guess it would need to be like Dark Ritual and probably 1 more mana somehow. Then us piercing, they would have to then just hope. Yeah, okay. So I think we're just dead. Yep. All right, and they get Past in Flames. Yeah, and we can concede to that. That's too bad. Let's see what we would have drawn. Never look. On the draw, this is a little bit of a clunky hand, but I think we keep it. The Cavern of Souls is not great. The second copy of Doomsday is not great. So this doesn't bode well. It might be the Echo Stompy deck. Okay, it's not. So it's like Storm or Show and Tell or Doomsday. They shuffle. Okay. Well, good. It's good. The good news is it means we aren't getting wastelanded. Sometimes I feel like I always draw my Lines of Diamond. That was how I felt up until the time that I actually like decided to not play with Lines of Diamond. I just feel like I always drew it. It's not the best card to draw. Alright, I'm not going to end of turn Brainstorm. I am going to Brainstorm now. So they are pausing. Interesting. Volcanic. Makes me think Sneak and Show. Am I getting pierced here? Brainstorm. What? Oh, they're dazing. Right. Okay. Do we want to trade a daze in our hand with their pedal? Probably not, right? I think we just let that happen. Wait, what? Why didn't I pay? Oh, that was so dumb. Oh, what a punt. I've just spaced out. I should have just paid with my Flutterstrand. Okay. That was the mistake of the day, I hope. So it was Show and Tell or Sneak Attack? Come on, Sneak Attack. Okay. Alright, cool. So they could have another pedal, which we can. Sorry, not another pedal. They could have another daze here, which we could play around with Lines at Diamond. I think I actually don't mind that. So we know they have a. Well, we don't know, but we suspect they have a fatty in hand. And let's collect this. I hope I don't have to pay for days, because if I don't, then I get to make Cavern of Souls next turn. They could also have Force of Will, I guess. And that's fine too. Then we wait a turn, they'll be down to one card in hand. But them throwing away the days before kind of makes me feel like they probably had a second days. Alright, cool. I guess if I had to crack LED to sack, to pay for days, Cavern would be in the graveyard when Doomsday resolves. I could just pick it there. Okay, so let's just go for 2 Cyclers and Thassa, and hope they don't have like main deck Red Blast, which I don't expect them to. I guess we can even go for a 3rd Cycler. I guess this is fine, and just whatever. Maybe we remove the silence effects so that opponent doesn't know we have those. So we draw edge into Street Wraith, into Thassa, and win. That's the plan, yo. So the only thing that kills us is like Show and Tell into Omniscience or Sneak Attack. Like Show and Tell into Omniscience and then another card. They have 3 cards in hand, so good chance that won't happen. Or like another Sneak Attack, which would also require a little bit more, like a Soul Land, a Sneak Attack, and a Fatty would do that. Also, the Fatty needs to be Emrakul in order to kill us. Okay, well, guess they had it. Yep. Boo. Okay. Feel like we're getting the rough end of the stick here, but that will happen. All right. So what do we want? We want these and these. We like disenchant is a little bit of a narrow thing to bring in against sneak attack. Let's not waste time on LED or Limdul's Vault. And probably we can cut a land. Don't mind having the silence effects. Question is if we want Teferi. I've had sort of mediocre results with Teferi in the past versus Show and Tell because it doesn't actually stop them from putting Show and Tell onto the stack, right? But still is very disruptive, so maybe we do want him. Don't think we need both of these. So the question is, which one do we want? Probably the Predict. Operating at instant speed is probably better. I guess we can live without having access to 2 cyclers. So let's try this. That was annoying. So they had 3 cards in hand when we made our Doomsday, and if those 3 cards were just like Sneak Attack, Ancient Tomb, and Fatty, then, you know, those are the beats. Okay, I like this. Let's ponder here. Alright, that's good. It's not great, but it's good. We're sort of dying to find a white mana here. Right. Ponderino. No shuffle. Alright, so I don't know. I'm thinking that I might want to actually. I wouldn't be too sad if they dazed here. Okay, but they don't. Alright. So I think we're going to have to try and set up a predict here. So I guess we're going to draw the Worms Chant and then predict away the Cavern. With the option of actually brainstorming on their turn if we need to. Maybe this predict just plays too hard into a daze. Actually, it sucks because we lose a land drop here, but I'm actually going to predict on their turn. Does this change anything? I'm running a very high risk of actually losing to my own predict thing here because on their turn we're going to be tapped out. Well, we can't predict now because if it resolves, we'll have to discard because we're on our end step, so we can't find a land. The thing is, like, I'm getting so tunnel visioned on predict that what's going to happen is I'm going to predict them. I'm going to predict myself on their turn, and then I am going to be tapped out, and so I'll, like, my force will gets dazed, that kind of thing. So maybe I need to wait until their end step to not have that happen. Okay. You you could argue for predicting there because like ponder heightens the chance of them finding days, but also if they have days, I don't kind of want to give them like if they're not finding a land, I don't want to give them an extra land drop this turn. And it looks like they didn't find a land. Okay, let's see. If we draw the if we like get days or whatever, it's fine. Our hand's still pretty good. Okay, we don't, so that's also very good. Cavern of Souls. Okay, we really want to find a land here. Okay, so I am gonna brainstorm. Okay, we find we find a lot of good ones here. So I don't think we want the Teferi anymore. And probably we can put Dark Ritual on top. Then we can play these out. And then next turn, depending on what happens, we can just win. I guess maybe we were supposed to go for it just this turn. Like we could have put back a Force of Will and kept the Dark Writ. But I think we want the extra mana because we don't have LED in the deck anymore. This makes me feel pretty confident we will win whatever counter war might happen on their turn now. Okay, so they go to discard. What do they ditch here? A Force, okay. So let's lead off with this. So if you're them, you have to counter this. So they force pitching Flusterstorm. So I wonder if that means they have another Flusterstorm. Alright, so the thing here is if we spend more mana this turn on like anything but Dark Ritual and Brainstorm, we won't, I think, be able to win this turn. Let's just go through it. Let's say we force here and silence enchant resolves, rather. Then we Dark Ritual, have 2 mana floating. Doomsday, we cast Brainstorm, 1 mana floating. We draw Ideas Unbound, Petal to cast it. And then Thassa. And then we put back Thassa and whatever from our hand. I don't think we even have enough mana anyway. I am going to fight over this, though. So they Red Blast. Okay, hang on. So we say the worrying thing is if they have another Flusterstorm for our Doomsday. I think I let all of this go, and then I try to resolve Doomsday and hope they don't have Fluster. And if they do have Fluster, then we have Fluster as well. Okay, so Doomsday resolves. So I suppose we could make the pile silence. And then like we untap, we draw silence. And we like did I exile? No, I didn't exile Ideas Unbound. Then we brainstorm into Ideas Unbound. Why am I not seeing ideas unbound? Did I? Maybe I boarded it out. Oh yeah, I boarded it out. Never mind. So we grab predict rather. So we draw silence, cast it, then brainstorm into predict, then predict. Silence, brainstorm. We can't do that. That's no good. So I think maybe we just have to grab the cyclers, grab the Cavern of Souls, grab Thassa. Do we then want the silence? No, right? Maybe we want to ferry over silence. I actually like that. So we draw to ferry, we play it. Hopefully it resolves. We draw a card, which will be one of the cyclers, and the next turn we get the rest. So Cavern, Thassa, Cycler, Teferi. And we pass. So I think they would need some sort of combination of Veil plus stuff to kill us this turn. So they bottom. Now the question also is, do we fight over Teferi here? If they have Red Blast? They're doing something, so they have Red Blast. So if we force this and it resolves, then Teferi resolves. Then next turn they play Ancient Tomb, Sneak Attack, and we lose. It's really tough to know. I am gonna. I think we want to keep the Force of Will. So if they have Veil now, it's really annoying. But at least it cuts them off another mana. Alright, come on. What you got? Okay, looks like Teferi is going to resolve. They could have Daze, which would also be annoying. They have Force Pitch, Show and Tell. So if I force back here, I'm going to force back. Oh, no, I shouldn't have done that. I immediately regret it. Okay, so I think we're going to bounce something here just because if they do have another Red Blast. I mean, they would have obviously had it with Petal, but if they were to draw Red Blast next turn, then we actually don't get to the bottom of the deck. I'm going to tilt super hard if what happened in game one is going to happen here as well. We'll see. Okay, looks like we're out of the woods. And you know what? If they were paying attention, they would have seen the Cavern of Souls go into my graveyard when I cast Predict. But no guarantee that they did. And because Teferi is at, we don't need to worry about Cavern. Alright. Definitely feel like I am playing a little bit poorly at times. Not really used to the white cards as much. So do we want anything else here? Whenever I have access to this card, I immediately feel like I want to try and play it. Is there a way that could, be justified? Probably not, but like they have Flusterstorm and stuff. And it does easily become this sort of counter war. But what if I just like, no one's looking, right? I just move one in there. Oh, now it's there, right? So, I mean, can't take it out now. That'd be kind of rude to it. So, what do we cut? What do we cut? One answer could actually be a copy of Doomsday, but I don't feel like doing that. I would say pedal, but then I just remembered that I just put in a Monastery Mentor, and I kind of want all my pedals. Cutting cantrips seem kind of poor. Jeez Louise, I don't feel like cutting anything. Okay, I'm going to be cutting the Predict here. Crazy as that sounds. Maybe the correct call was actually the Teferi, but I clicked submit. I think actually it was Teferi. This hand is bad, does nothing. It protects us. They mulligan to 6. Gosh. I'm going to keep, but whenever I keep a hand like this, what invariably happens is I just draw more lands. I just draw lands and lands and lands, and I never, or like lands and rituals and petals, and I never draw any cantrip or a Doomsday. But today is the day that the trend gets bucked, right? All right, what you got, opponent? All right, opponent found 6 that they liked. Uh-oh. Okay, well, that happened. Let's put in Underground Sea, Gristlebrand. Yup. All right, we need to find Doomsday, and we need it to be now. Doomsday. Doomsday. Screw this. Told you I was going to draw land, right? All right, that was not the best. All right, gonna keep. There's the old lines and I'm again. Opponent mulligans to 6. So we're gonna lead on Delta and just say go, and then decide what we're gonna do. Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb into Defense Grid. So I guess this is that Peer Through Depths deck. So I think I'm going to cast... So I mean, does Chant really work here? It's going to be awkward, but I'm going to brainstorm in response, and then I'm going to daze. And then I'm going to be sad. Actually, hang on. No, I'm not going to be sad. I'm going to put back Doomsday. And then I'm going to edge into Doomsday. And I'll probably still be sad. Because then what? Then I'm passing twice. Is that it? Let's say we do that. We in that case, maybe we force of will this to not go behind the land drop. And then we, what? Then we put back Doomsday and then say swamp. Then we draw the swamp. We play Volcanic Island. We play LED. We sack Volcanic Island to cycle edge, drawing Doomsday, sacking LED for black. Cast Doomsday. We have a Tundra then, and we just have to pass. And then we get the turn. We draw, say, a land. No, we don't draw land. Yeah, no, we draw land, and then we pass and chant them. And then that kind of works. Okay, let's put back Doomsday and the swamp, I guess. I mean, we could let this resolve, but then we can't chant them on their turn. There's a chance we'll just lose on their turn. Ah, I'm such a dingus. We won't have the chant because we'll be losing it to Lines of Diamond. Okay, never mind. So what matters here? I think this is still the play because I don't like that brainstorm was a big fat whiff. I was gonna say it doesn't even matter if we tap the volcanic for mana. So we want Thassa and a land to draw her, to cast her with, which can be Snow-Covered Island, I guess. So how do we get to those cards without giving our opponent 2 more turns? I think the answer is we can't. What if we go, like, we draw Brainstorm, but no, because we have no cards to put back. I think we just have to bite the bullet and give them two turns and, you know, accept the fact that they'll probably kill us. Let's go like this. Let's put a chant in there and make sure it's the one they see so they'll have to worry about it. Let's say we draw the island, or rather we draw Street Wraith, we pass, we draw edge, then we can cycle twice into island and Thassa. I think that's what we're gonna do, and I don't really expect it to work. Yeah, let's put island on the bottom. No, not island on the bottom, sorry. Chant on the bottom. And then Thassa Island, cycler. Hang on. Did I just punt that? What if I had put chant second from the top? How'd that work? So we draw the cycler now. Or like we get a turn, we draw cycler, Street Wraith. We then Street Wraith into, oh no, is this Urza? I have no idea what's going on here. Interesting. Let's see. Chalice for 2. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I could have put in that the cavern, but I didn't. Because I thought defense grid. I not just seen the I forget his name right now. I'm blanking on it. Italian guy from Channel Fireball. Mangucci. I was just thinking it was Mangucci's Peer Through Depths that he has been playing, that he released a video with today. That played Ancient Tomb and Defense Grid. Okay, well, so let's, I kind of like having Mentor here. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm guessing it's the deck, the Urza deck that just for some reason ran Defense Grid. Let's lose a couple of days. Don't think we want the chance. Happy to not have LED. Probably okay losing LDV. I'm not sure though. And let's do it. And I guess let's lose one of these. And Street Wraith. Yep, I'll keep this. It's sort of pretty strong against a Chalice for one. Ooh, wow, that's a lot of good cards. So I guess let's draw the days here in case we feel like we have to use it on turn 1. Okay, so it is just the Ursa Stompy deck. So what, Narset? Yeah. So, what's the deal here? I mean, obviously I kind of feel like dazing this, but at the same time, if I don't daze it, then next turn I can make either Doomsday or Mentor with daze backup. Am I just nuts letting this resolve? I think I probably am. I think I need to daze. They have forces after sideboard. I think so. They could have a force here. All right. So we don't want to draw the Street Wraith in case this does get forced. So let's cast Doomsday. Let's make sure to put in Cavern of Souls. Let's put in Thassa. Let's put in Predict and Force of Will. We will draw Predict. And we will cast Predict. Naming Force, I guess. And what? Draw Thassa and a Petal. That's not going to be enough mana. So we could also just draw Cyclers and try to draw Thassa and not Cavern. Oops. Alright, hang on. Let's see about this. Let's ditch the force. So we have to think here if we think they have like another if they have force of will, I don't think they'll have removal, but they could have force of will, and if they do, then we just lose. If they just let this resolve because they were like, okay, well, we have this force of will, that's gonna be win the game for us, then we just lose. But if they don't, then just drawing like Street Wraith, cycling into Edge, cycling into Thassa, make Underground Sea and cast it, that wins. So what do we want here, potentially, as a card deeper down the pile? Like Teferi, maybe? It won't really matter. Let's try this. Let's make the Cavern of Souls. Man, Cavern of Souls and Teferi kind of like cancel each other out. So if they somehow Echo of Eons us here, it's a little bit annoying because I would then have liked to have had like a thing. I would have liked to have had a Force of Will in the pile. They didn't, and they did nothing. So do we worry they have Force? I mean, how can they? They have 3 mana. Maybe they just have like Karn and Echo in their hand or something. So they don't play a land. Oh, never mind. They did play a land. They played a land and just said go. So I think we risk it. We risk it here, and if they have the force, then it's, or I guess a removal spell, which I don't think they will have. Oh man, they are pausing on each effect here, so probably they do have force. They didn't have force. They have removal. They don't have removal. Okay, cool. So there will be a game 3. So game 3. I guess actually. Oh yeah, never mind. I did board in Serenity. I was like, hey, I should bring Serenity in for this matchup. I think this is probably fine. I think we keep this. I mean, if they go Chalice for 1, it's not the end of the world. We have turn 2 Doomsday. Okay, so the thing is, we can't both Pyroblast and make turn 2 Doomsday because we need to either sacrifice the pedal or fetch Volcanic. But let's see if we need it. Okay. Alright, that was actually really good. I think we still play a land here. It means we can't get access to... we won't have access to, what do you call it? To Cavern of Souls this turn, but... So this kind of signposts that we have a Pyroblast, but... Okay, so they did have the force. Pitching Echo of Eons. Alright. So let's put a Force of Will in the pile. And a Brainstorm, I guess. And let's put Thassa and Cavern and a Cycler. Actually, let's replace the Brainstorm with Teferi. So let's see here. We draw Force of Will. Then we predict targeting or naming Teferi, we draw Edge and Thassa, and this also protects us if they get to Echo of Eons. It leaves us in a decent position there. So let's make it Cavern, Thassa, Edge, Teferi, Force. So if they go Chalice for 2 here, it's a little bit annoying. Okay. Alright, so let's go like this. Name Teferi, Time Reveler. Alright. Sweet. So we got there versus a pretty bad matchup. Alright. On the draw. Yikes. I feel quite hesitant keeping this hand, although if we were to say we weren't up against Wasteland, we could go fetch Underground Sea, preordain, and find another land, then on our second turn make that land drop, and then before our third turn we could Limbal's Vault for a Doomsday. That presupposes a whole lot of things. That presupposes them not having Wasteland and not having counter magic. I think I'm gonna mulligan. Ugh. Right, okay. Yeah, let's keep this. I guess I don't mind having the Lines of Diamond actually because of Street Wraith. But we need we're gonna bottom a land, but we need to draw a land, which is unfortunate that we have two of our 3 non-black producing lands. And since we don't have any red blasts in the deck, I think it's just strictly better to keep the snow-covered island. Right. So we would really just love to draw a cantrip here. They shuffle, okay. Question, if we draw Dark Ritual, do we go for it? Okay, we draw Silence. I guess we play out a land that can cast Silence, just in case it's like Storm. Okay, thinking it's not Storm. Wow. That was a hot draw. I almost want to give them one more turn to get a bit of a better idea of what I'm up against. It would be absolutely terrible if they then have a discard spell. But I don't think they have. They would have that. And it also is pretty terrible in case they just sort of, I guess, win. Okay, so it is a snow deck. Or it could still be show and tell. It could be blue-green Omni. Oh, it looks like it is. So we are getting punished here. So what's the play? I think the play is to cast Silence before Show and Tell resolves, because what's going to happen is they're going to put in Omniscience. And then they can have 3 different things that likely or absolutely kills us. And one of them is a Cunning Wish. If we silence, they'll just Cunning Wish on our upkeep. If it's Emrakul, then that actually then matters. And if it's also if it is drawn from dreams, so I think we have to silence here because it shuts off drawn from dreams and Emrakul as a win condition. Um, so let's get a scrubland. Let's hope that their trump is like a Veil of Summer and not counter magic. Okay, so there's the Omniscience. Let's hope they don't have Cunning Wish. Okay. Let's hope they don't have anything here. And let's just see here. No shoot. No shoot. Yeah. Did not play land. Alright. I mean, I'm kind of thinking now that they don't have anything, but you never know. So I mean, let's say we like Wraith into predict, and then predict naming I guess Street Wraith, and then we draw Thassa and Cavern, and I guess we need another cycler there. That way we don't have to sack LED. It won't matter about sacking LED, but it's nice to leave them guessing with the one card. I guess no, we'll play out the LED because then we can pay for a spell pierce, but surely they would have. Maybe if they might have exactly spell pierce. So let's put Cavern and Thassa and Edge and Street Wraith and Predict. Could, I guess, just be toying with us here. And have the Cunning Wish. And like trick bind us or whatever. Okay, so the Veil of Summer. I guess hoping to draw Cunning Wish for a counterspell. And they didn't. Alright. Alright, cool. Alright, what's it going to be? Do you actually have the Cunning Wish for the Trick Bind or Mindbreak Trap? No, alright. So, we are going to board probably like we did against Show and Tell before, except I kind of don't hate having Surgical versus the non-sneak attack version. Let's see, dump the pedal, dump the LDV. Probably dump Snow-Covered Island. Probably dump. Actually, maybe we want Ideas Unbound over Predict here as our lands aren't under threat. Veil of Summer probably makes Show and Tell a little bit iffy. Not Show and Tell, Thoughtseize, I mean. Although Thoughtseize is also what kind of makes Surgical good, so maybe that's kind of lame. I should have maybe not brought in the Surgical then. Alright, I mean, I'll take it. Can't complain about that. They mulligan to 5, right? Ooh. That's right. Go even further down, my friend. Down to 4, come on. That looks like they're keeping 5. Alright. There's a drop. Blue card? Come on. Yeah. Alright. That, it would surprise me to no end if they were able to stop us from getting through this Doomsday. Do we daze here? Nah, I think it's better to just keep open daze and not get put back a land drop if we don't have to. Alright, so I think what we want to do here is to draw the silence and then make the land drop, and then after that we want to draw Ideas Unbound, draw Thassa, a Petal, and like another Daze maybe? So how would that work? So we draw Silence, then we play Tundra, we pass, we consider if we want to silence them on their upkeep. I think we do, because then we get the turn back, we're going to use the mana deck, we were going to draw Ideas Unbound, and then we're going to draw the rest of our deck, play the Petal, play the Cavern, play Thassa, have... Yeah, the days doesn't really matter, right, because we'll have the Thassa, but you could also make days Force of Will if we think we're going to have all the Force stuff. Yeah. It's a little bit awkward if we end up dazing something between now and 2 turns from now, because it means stuff with Cavern and Ideas Unbound, so we just have to bear that in mind. But I think we will be able to just basically wait. Let's make it like that. Ponderino, okay. So, what will it be? My good opponent. Not Shuffle. Okay, Ancient Tomb. Wow. Are we doing it? Okay, we're not doing it. Alright, so here we are going to... We're going to silence them on their turn. And see, and let's say that resolves. Then we untap, we draw Ideas Unbound and cast it. If they fight over that, we can daze. And if days isn't enough, we can force. And if force isn't enough, then no. Surely it will be enough, right? So wait, is there a world where they get to make a land drop here, and then on our turn they Cunning Wish for Trick Bind? Because there is a world where we just wait and we just raw draw the cards, and then on the last turn we silence to beat Trick Bind. But I don't think we need to be playing around Trick Bind. They would need to have the Trick Bind because Cunning Wish for Trick Bind isn't going to work through our Force of Will and Days. All right, let's see here. So they're thinking about something. So seems like they do have like game actions here. It might be like the scariest thing would probably be if they veil us here, to be honest. I think if they veil here, we almost just have to let them veil. Okay, they Flusterstorm. Okay, so next turn we're gonna draw the Thassa, and we will have force. We'll have the yeah, they don't have red blast. So I think I'm just okay letting this go because what happens here if I no, never mind. I can't even beat this, right? I was gonna say if I like force and then force one copy and daze the other, but they can just pay for the daze, so it doesn't matter. So I am going to play out this land, I think. Just so I will be able to daze twice if for some reason I wanted to do that. All right, let's see. So if they have show and tell, so let's see their last two cards. If it's Omniscience Emrakul and we force, then they just lose. If it's Veil and Gristlebrand, we lose. If it's Veil and Omniscience, we might lose. In either case, this is I'm obviously gonna fight over this. Okay, so now I think it's down to us losing to weird stuff like Trick Bind and nothing else. All right, sweet. Woohoo! We got there. 3-2, baby. Nah, I mean, obviously, I would have higher hopes going into a league. So what do we say? Omni. So I think honestly, losing the Ant matchup is what's tilting me the most, especially the way I lost game one. But also just because like being an Esper, I think gives you a higher shot at beating Storm because of the chance. Not like a drastically higher chance, but and I think it's already sort of a pretty decent matchup in Grixis. So that was a little bit annoying. Losing to Sneak and Show, I think, is probably going to happen a bit more often being on Esper than in Grixis colors. But I mean, I do splash red. I have the two red blasts. I think it's probably still a fine matchup. I think um, I'm not terribly upset about being an Esper. And we beat Maverick, which we would expect to beat. We beat Echo Stompy, which we would not normally expect to beat. And then we beat Omni, which I would expect to beat. Again, I would be happier having four red blasts and not two, but the chant effects actually ended up, or the silence effects actually ended up being sort of relevant here. So, anyways, it was fun, and I am not done with this yet. I think I will run one or two more leagues at least and see how I do. Thanks a lot for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you like what you saw and happen to not be subscribed, maybe you want to consider subscribing because that would be awesome for me, and you would actually get notifications whenever I produce more legacy content. And with that, I will bid you a amazing evening or day or morning or whatever time of day it is, and see you next time. Bye bye.